Does that note she hasn't really connected with anyone? She doesn't seem interested in other people, and I think people are a little scared off by her appearance. Really? I thought that kind of thing was, well, discouraged here. Discriminating and such. Well, alright. Well, so you have to think about it. I mean, alright, for example, people, alright, most people, not all people, think the idea of racism is bad. Obviously it is. It's fucked up to be racist towards somebody, of course. But that doesn't mean people don't still make racist jokes about it. Like, I will be completely honest because I can be the honest person, and I'll address the elephant in the room. I can say racist shit about even my own race, any race, and not give a fuck because everyone does it. And if someone were to just say, no, I don't say racist remarks, then you're a fucking liar, and you shouldn't want to deal with that person at all, nor see that person, because that person is obviously a lying piece of shit. Because everybody says racist jokes, and it's sad that racism still does exist, but people say racist jokes. I will try to man up and say, if I do offend anybody with the voice acting that I do, I apologize, because I do say I have, made racist remarks, I guess, or, the accent, like, hurrah, sir, and shit like that's making fun of Asians, of course. Everybody does it. I make fun of everyone. I'm not going to start saying the derogatory term of every race, but, I'll make fun of everybody, and while it is discouraged in schools and in society, for example, it's still going to be around. So even if that kind of thing, back to the situation, is looked down upon, it's still going to happen regardless of whatever rules society or the school or you or what anyone else in the world says or, does. But moving on. If I were to put it one way, she froze in her brow in thought, a move which makes me slightly anxious as what she's plucking from her mind. I'd say that you're a little naive. Wait, hold up! Hey! It's my guy, Hisao! Hey, you ain't naive, fucker! Shit. Yeah, we're naive. Naive? I'd be insulted if not for the slightly cynical grin on her face. If you can hear the trash monster in the background, I'm sorry. I guess the guy who picks up the dump, whatever. You know what I mean. Someone's coming around to pick up the trash. I see. While Yamako has a stronger sense of community compared to other schools, it's far from being free of conflict. Alright, I agree with that. So, to say you're a little naive. Rules cannot remove human nature. After all, only suppress it. That's something I noticed, actually. No! Really? Just little things like how certain people and cliques avoid each other in the hallways. It's no different from than my old school, really. Well, I guess he has a point. I never saw that personally with me. I know I'm talking a lot, but this is really what happens when people do let's plays or read-throughs or playthroughs, whatever, of Katawa Shoujo. You start having your own thoughts put into it just because it makes you think a little bit. That's never happened to me, just because, well, in my high school experience, I was able to talk to, I'm not saying I was popular or whatever, I did have my problems and shit like everybody does, but just because I'm the person that just because I dress a certain way doesn't mean I am that certain way. I understand what people will think of you as alright, if I were to dress as a thug, people would think of me as either two things, a wannabe or a thug, either scared or make fun of me. Even though I do listen to, let's say, death metal and all that, just because I look the part doesn't mean I am the part, But everyone knows, you guys know that I listen to fucking anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't care if it's country, rap, rock, techno, electro. I don't care. I'll listen to it and enjoy it. I'll dress however the fuck I want, and I'll act however I want accordingly. Like there are times you have to, not censor yourself. You have to limit yourself to how you speak to people. Like if you go to church, and mind you, I'm not a religious person myself, so don't even say, oh, you go to church? No. Excuse me. You're not gonna go in there dressed as a piece of shit with a wife beater on and fucking sandals and fucking cargo shorts or whatever the fuck. You're gonna look a little bit nice because, you know, it's church and whatever, and you have to look nice for the family and whatever the fuck. The saying goes, you know, with when you're at a fancy dinner table, you don't want to, you know, you always gotta limit yourself. It's not being fake, because other people are gonna be like, oh, you fake. No, it's that you have to limit yourself. Have some kind of moderation with how you are in certain things. But I'm talking too much. Moving on. Even Lily and Shizune can be considered bitter rivals, even though they both seem like fairly accepting people. Well, at least Misha tinted Shizune does. Who knows what actually goes on with her fingers and behind her glasses? I guess you're right. But when I first came here, everything was a bit of a shock, because you are entering a school that is not like your school. What the fuck? Obviously. Okay. I kept on making mistakes, or at least thinking I was making mistakes. Like, when we first met, and I said, I see. Wow, really? I think that bothered you, Hisao, the I see thing when you said to Lily, even though you just said it again momentarily ago. I didn't know if it was considered rude or anything, so I tried to just put it in the back of my mind, treating people any differently and that kind of thing. So I didn't. I told myself that Hanako and you and everyone else were just normal, and I tried to ignore the obvious. I thought to Hanako she were any other person because she is! And so we became friends. At least, that's how I think it happened. But you know, I feel guilty just from saying something like that out loud, as if it took extra effort to think of Hanako or you or anyone here as normal people. I don't think that's right. Plus, you're not exactly the normal person yourself, which none of us are, to be quite honest. That's how I think you are naive, but I also think that you're a good person. It is perhaps one of your better traits. I suppose. I can take that as a compliment. Tell me, are you free tonight? Oh my god! Well, I mean, I was gonna jerk off, but alright, let's go. If you don't count homework, then I'm free as breeze. In that case, would you care to join myself and Hanako for tea? I don't really have that much money at the moment, so going out is... Come on, you cheap piece of shit! I didn't mean going out, just here, this evening. You can access the classrooms in the evening here? Dude, shut the fucking this out. Oh my god!